So if you're looking for a Silicon Valley Bank drama, you've come to the right place. I've been getting a lot of questions and comments. Always appreciate that. I want to go over them with you. And let's jump right in. So first, Phil is saying, Chris, much respect. Hey, much respect, Phil. But saying they're just bad at business. Nah, they are money guys that know exactly what's going on, and they bail themselves out to save their own skins. That simple. And if you guys don't know, basically, some of the people at the top at SVB were selling stock and also paying bonuses to employees. So we'll see if there's anything nefarious there. However, Phil, I want to point this out to you because I think it's a very, very important point. Silicon Valley Bank chief pressed Congress to weaken risk regulations, because this is essentially what happened was Silicon Valley Bank didn't manage risk properly. They locked up a bunch of money and bonds essentially went down. And then when there was a bank run, they had to sell these things at a loss. I'm sure you guys know this already. But the big deal is here, though, is that they were purposely trying to weaken regulations on banks like themselves. And the other thing, too, which I want to really point out, I can't emphasize this enough, this was both parties. Because sometimes you'll say, oh, yeah, it's just one party, whatever. It's both parties, guys. I looked. Members of both parties voted to essentially not strengthen the regulations on banks like this. So this is part of what's going on. There's something else which is really crazy to the story as well, is that Joseph Gentile is his name. He is the chief administration officer at Silicon Valley Bank. And you can read this here. It's on their website. Prior to joining the firm in 2007, Mr. Gentile served as the CFO for Lehman Brothers Global Investment Bank, where he directed the accounting and financial needs within the fixed income division. So literally, this was the bond guy over at Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers essentially sort of kicked off or is one of the figureheads of the 08-09 crisis, is now involved with the SVB Bank. So this will probably be a scandal. I don't know how this guy is involved in two of the biggest scandals of all time, but it is what it is. To be fair, though, he got out of Lehman at 07. Maybe he was smart. Who knows? I have no comments on that. I just don't know. Other than this is highly, highly suspicious. That's all I have to say about that. He just happens to be in the worst possible time and the worst possible place. It is what it is. Also, too, this is another comment. This is from Craig. Makes me wonder how many other banks are holding excessive amount of long-term bonds. So, Craig, we've actually addressed this in other videos, but I'll just spell it out very, very clearly. 620 billion is what it is. So they're not the only ones who were holding bonds that are essentially negative on their balance sheets. There are a bunch of other banks out there, and it's like 620 billion worth. So if there were theoretically everyone goes to the bank at the same time to do a bank run, our system would collapse. So I don't think people are going to do that. I'm not suggesting people do that, but I'm saying yes, there are other banks that have this problem, and there could be a contagion. This is sort of why, in my opinion, the government acted so quickly. You usually don't see this. I mean, this was really fast where the government's like, you know what, we're just going to come in and take over. So that's up with that. Do appreciate these comments, guys. So another one, Barry Jam is saying, can you explain how Oaktree can buy deposits for 60 to 80 cents on the dollar? And I talked about this before in the video. I've met Howard Marks. He runs Oaktree, and real popular person, or famous, I should say. But you mean Oaktree is contacting depositors directly offering to buy their deposits at a discount? How does that work? So true story, funny. We have some quotes, and I want to just let you hear their language, and I'll give some comments on that in a second. So here's an article here. Uninsured Silicon Valley Bank depositors seek fire sale of assets. And the basic gist of it, guys, is that you have a bunch of companies, like, for example, say Roku, for example, or whatever. And they got money trapped in this bank, and they got to pay the rent. They got to pay their salaries of their employees. They got bills to pay, and their money is basically trapped. And they're like, oh my God, I'm totally screwed. And they need that money. And so what's going on is essentially these hedge funds are like kind of offering to give them money, but nothing comes for free. And to be perfectly frank, these hedge funds were kind of acting like loan sharks. You got to hear the language for yourself. So this is one, for example. This is a Fulcrum Capital. So they're out of Austin, and they're saying here, they contacted startups on Saturday, right, on a weekend, offering to pay an unspecified percentage of total deposits, right? So they're saying, okay, I know you got, 20, say million in there. We'll give you 10 million or whatever like that, just to give you cash right away. But that's like a discount. And they're offering different discounts, or what's trying to say, they're offering different shark deals. That's a better way to put it. I'm kind of laughing. I know it's not that funny to people involved with this, but this is the real world, guys. It's not a nice place. And essentially what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to take the duration recovery risk. So the basic idea is, why would a hedge fund take this deal? So, I'll give you 50%. I'll give you that 10 million. I know you have 20 in the bank. I'll give you 10 now. And then I will basically kind of hold the contract to when the government actually does pay out or whatever, or the government or whoever may not pay out the money at all, and then the hedge fund could lose money. So, they're taking the duration risk, right? The time risk, essentially. This is Jefferies. This is what they're saying here. At the request of many of our VC clients, Jefferies is working to help their portfolio companies find innovative ways. I thought that was funny. Innovative ways to meet crucial demands such as short-term payroll obligations by helping them monetize or finance their deposits as the receivership process progresses. So there's any number of things that could be going on. But overall, from reading the descriptions, it sounds like a lot of these hedge funds are kind of acting like essentially vultures / sharks. And you're essentially just kind of buying the debt, or deposit, I should say. But I understand it sounds kind of weird, but evidently this is the deals that they're trying to get. The other thing is more comments. George is saying we're going through a recession. People will be angry and thirsty for blood. Throwing a couple of bankers in jail, the best way to feed the populace. And actually, that's kind of an interesting point in terms of like a political thing. If say you're in Congress or the White House or whatever, is you want to deflect the blame and say, it's nothing to do with regulations. It's just a few bad actors. Put up the person, the Gentile person that I showed you before. He used to work at Lehman. He worked at SVB. He's an easy target, and they'll blame it all on him, for example. And all the politicians, both parties. I want to emphasize that both parties who voted to essentially not regulate these kind of things will maybe not face retribution. So find someone to blame is a good strategy. So George, I'm right there with you. I really get it. And that's why I like to show you guys this stuff. And just, we talk about reality here. Vultures circling before even SVB is dead. That's according to Sectum. And when I meant by reality is sometimes this is a real thing. If you turn into TV or whatever, is that these people say on Wall Street and connect to that, they're talking about their friends, right? And so they're always very careful what they say. And also too, they're very careful about talking about the industry, because remember, this whole financial industry is based on people make money from managing your money. And if you don't trust them to manage your money, they don't make money. So this whole sort of banking system is under fire. And guys, I lived through 08, 09. I mean, I remember these things. It was awful. And for those of you who remember this stuff, I mean, some people really got wiped out. And unfortunately, a lot of just regular people got hurt. And one solution now theoretically is, for example, the government was coming in and just bail everybody out, give everyone their money, et cetera. And it sounds all great and rosy, but one of the problems is that it encourages banks to keep doing these kind of things. Like I've seen this before, and we're seeing it again. But I completely understand, like the whole system, it doesn't work if the money is not flowing, right? If companies can't pay people can't pay their bills. Moreover, I was seeing something like, for example, people on Etsy. Etsy has does their payment process through there. So like some just regular small business kind of people selling wallets and socks and all the things they sell on Etsy aren't getting their payments. Like this crazy stuff is happening due to SVB failing. There's something else that's going on in the world of crypto. This is the you guys know about, but this Circle is USDC. So this is the stable coin. It's supposed to be stable. It's supposed to be pegged to the dollar. But evidently they got 3.3 billion in SVB, and people are kind of feeling unstable about the stable coin. I think this is a massive blow to the crypto world, because if you're essentially the thing that's supposed to be like a dollar isn't behaving like that. I think it's 87 cents. Yeah. So it's trading at a discount. And I guess theoretically, if you're into this stuff, this is time to buy the dip. But for me, I just not into it. And one of the things that I was thinking about this whole thing is the basic metaphor is, what happens to your casino chips when the casino is closed? And that's essentially what we're seeing here. The casino's closed and people figuring out that their chips are worthless. This is kind of what it is. Now, if you're a crypto bull, and I get it, because some people are like, Chris, I hate you. I love crypto. You're such a dummy, Chris. Well, you're not alone. Circle, which is, I guess they run this the stable coin. They're saying they're going to cover any shortfall in USD reserves, sparking a stablecoin rally. So they're trying to save this thing. And I guess this is the CEO, Jeremy Allaire. And I'll let you guys, leave comments, your opinion, if you believe in the stablecoin or not. Yes, I get it. If it is trading discount, you believe in it, then, it's your time to just buy the dip. For me, I'm not into this stuff. And we're going to see what happens on Monday. So I wanted to just sort of answer some of your guys' questions, and I think they're good ones. And again, the sort of the key is like, is there any criminal activity going on? How could this sort of thing happen? Or was it just simply bad business? How is this going to affect the crypto? As you guys see, it totally is. And are people going to take essentially shark deals to shore up cash today? Because essentially, this is all the name of the game for this kind of stuff, is like, would you rather have the cash now, or would you take the risk that you are going to get your money back in the future? Now, in the past, these kind of situations, you may get, for example, half your money on Monday, just for example, and then it might take you, another year to get the other half, or you may never get the other half. No one knows, and this is where the uncertainty is. And you got people knocking on your door saying, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? Where's my rent? You owe me this, you owe me that. And so this is a real problem for a lot of people right now, and it's going to be really, really scary on Monday. We'll see what happens. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Please share your thoughts and questions, and I'll catch you in the next video.